All right, week 10, Wall Street. We're doing buys. We are officially over the halfway point of the season now, and trade deadlines are quickly approaching in weeks 11 or 12, depending on your league. So we're running out of time to make moves. I know Tony's got three really good ones for us tonight to go out and get these guys and get ready for your playoff push and your playoff run. So, Tony, Mr. Professor, why don't you go ahead and hit us with that top guy?
Hey, Kyle, good to see you. Yeah, let's jump right into things. The first guy I've got on my buy list for this week is a player that I really liked all season long, but we have a little bit of a buying opportunity on him, and that's a running back with the Los Angeles Rams, Mr. Kyren Williams. I talked to you about him privately a few times during the season as a target. It's hard to find a guy like Kyren who plays on the type of offense he does with the Rams. Very creative. He's really one of the few workhorse backs in the league. Um, we saw now for 3 or 4 consecutive weeks where he's had 20 or more touches, actually 20 or more carries in a game, which is really unheard of in today's NFL at the running back position. So I love him, love the talent, love the volume, and love the schedule. He's got a tremendous rest of season schedule. Things look really, really very, very good for him, including a matchup against the Cardinals during the fantasy playoffs, which alone could be could win you a week. So love Kyron Williams. Think that you might have an opportunity to get him right now, and that window may be closing real soon.
Real fast. And it's literally a very, very brief window because he's, like you said, he's getting over 20 touches a game, but he has touchdowns in every single game except for the last two. And that's probably the only thing that's even creating this small window is the fact that his points aren't even more inflated by those
Right.
touchdowns at the moment. He's going to start getting back into the end zone, especially with that schedule you mentioned. So, yeah, I'm with you. I'm all in on trying to get Kyron Williams on my teams.
Yeah, a little bit of a dip once one week, kind of create a little bit of opportunity to get him if you can do it.
Yep, 100%. All right, number two on our list tonight.
I'm going to give you another running back. Running backs are difficult to find. Um, Weekly kind of plug and go guys, especially this time of the season. So I wanted to give you two running backs. The second one that I've got on my list is Tyrone Tracy with the New York Giants. Kind of really liked him as a flyer, especially in best ball at the beginning of the season. Um, but looks to be taking over the running back position here in New York. And part of why I really like him, and we talked about this over the past couple of weeks, but really it's the schedule. He's got just a great schedule for running backs. They've got the Panthers, the Bucks, the Cowboys, and the Saints over the next 4 weeks, which is
Love that.
just kind of line those teams up for me.
Yeah,
I think also game script, especially with those type of opponents, might kind of line up for some great outings from Tyrone Tracy. So that starts this week. So if you're watching this um, and kind of you like the buy, you don't have a whole lot of time because I think once we get through this week, that opportunity might not be there any longer.
yeah, 100%. I think it's pretty clear that he's the number one guy there now because he's had 15 to 18 touches a game the last 3 or 4 weeks. Singletary, after he came back from his injury, he's been in single digits every week. This is your guy. Like you said, the schedule is just, so good. So, 100%, I'm with you. And I think he still maybe doesn't have the name recognition yet that won't cost you what like a Kyron Williams will.
Right.
So, that
100%.
that helps as well.
Great point.
So, let's hit number three.
Well, I'm going to double dip
I'll
this
I'll
week
allow it.
instead.
I'll allow
All right,
it.
appreciate that. I double dipped on Devon Achane and tried to get people to get him when they could. Now, he's basically untouchable. I read something the other day that if Tua had been healthy, he'd right now be sitting at the RB1 based on his utilization in his
Very possible, yeah.
So, getting him now is near impossible. And so I feel the same way about this player. Given this guy a couple weeks ago, want to bring him back because this may be kind of your last opportunity to grab him, if possible. And that's Malik Nabers. Had just an absolutely ridiculous beginning of the season through the month of September. Took a little bit of a step back. Of course, had that injury, missed a couple weeks. But just as we were talking about with Tyrone Tracy, the schedule really isn't any better against the receiver position. Those teams are what they are, and I just love Malik Nabers down the stretch. Think that he could be a league winner. So if you can grab Malik, that window for him is really very, very, very small and beginning to close. So another guy who could be a league winner.
Yeah, those teams on that schedule are terrible against everything. So
exactly,
good matchups for him too. Ever since he came back from those injuries, he's been fine, but not what he was the first part of the season. A lot of that has to do with a few games without touchdowns. Some of it has to do with the matchups. You look at Philly and Pitt that he's played against, and he did pretty good against Washington, but definitely the touchdowns will start coming again. There's a lot of room for him to do what he did early in the season, so I'm with you. He's easy top 5 receiver the rest of the season.
I agree, and one of the positives is that the volume has been there. He's getting the double-digit targets. So that's one of the things you're really looking at the receiver position. You want that target volume, and he's got it. So a lot to like.
Oh yeah, 100%. All right, Professor, appreciate you. Everybody go out and try to get these guys, and good luck in week 10.
Thanks, Kyle.